Let's just say this. Yes, I know that this topic has been beaten to death. Yes, I know that this topic has been covered by countless others. Yes, I know that there is so much misinformation out there. How could I potentially know all of the information? Well, I am not looking to spread any more misinformation and looking only to present the evidence I have seen to suggest what I am about to suggest. But let's just start at the very beginning with what is Snuff R73. Snuff R73 is a mixtape film that was released in 2015. The popularity of this name really exploded due to the release of Wendigoon's disturbing movie Iceberg video, where it came up on Tier 8 of the iceberg. This supposed mixtape was said to be illegal, containing everything wrong and disgusting on film, along with the idea that it may contain CP or even material made for the film. Yes, there was the worry that people are being paid to make their own footage for the film, so it could further push the envelope of what a mixtape film is. However, with the deletion of my old Snuff R73 video, I feel the need to truly address this topic one last time. The amount of things that are said about this one mixtape is staggering, and this is why this video I present today actually exists. So, once again, let's dive into the myth of Snuff R73. What we do know is that the mixtape that is famously known as Snuff R73 is an hour, 30 minutes, and 24 seconds. It contains all of the most disgusting, disturbing, and unnerving pieces of footage found on the internet. Some of the footage includes the infamous one guy, one jar, one man, one horse, one lunatic, one ice pick, janky janky, and even one bitch, 9 pups. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the footage that is in the mixtape. The film is highly controversial, not just because of the footage that is within the mixtape, but also the footage left out for a supposed other cut. There are rumors of another cut of Snuff R73 that have existed ever since the 2015 mixtape has arrived. Supposedly, this other cut contains illegal footage and footage that can only be found on the dark web, including the creations of one Peter Scully. Now, I refuse to mention this topic by name, but some of the footage that people have said is within the other cut is footage of people playing D&D. If you know, you know. But as stated, this is the myth of Snuff R73. As of 2025, there has never been a true piece of evidence leading to the release or existence of the Vorsk Snuff R73. Vorsk is supposedly the one behind the illegal cut of Snuff R73 that is supposedly a staggering 3.5 hours long, but this does not exist. But just like the mixtape doesn't exist, the first Snuff R73 mixtape may not be 100% real either. In 2015, Thomas Cinemagore got his hands on the original Snuff R73 and said it was nothing but a ripoff of his MD Pope series, with nearly 85% of the original mixtape being a copy of his own series. This is interesting because this would imply that the first Snuff R73 that the world knows is made by a different person, away from Thomas Cinemagore. But this is not the case. The one we have seen is actually a recreation of the Snuff R73 mixtape that Thomas Cinemagore had seen, created by Thomas himself. This means that the 1.5 hour long mixtape is made by none other than Mr. Cinemagore, and the original mixtape is hiding somewhere. The cover for the mixtape is supposed to be the original, but no one knows who the child is. I tried to do some AI enhancing the image and coloring, but I can't seem to figure this out. But is this where the story ends? No, it's not. There are two other creations under the Snuff R73 brand, Snuff R73-2 and Snuff R73. Let's first discuss Snuff R73-2. According to Mr. Cinemagore, this mixtape was all original footage focusing only on the footage from the Middle East of death during the War on Terror. Though the footage was authentic and original, Mr. Cinemagore stated that the mixtape was boring due to its lack of any of the disgusting footage from the internet thrown in. None of the disturbing bodily fluid stuff or animal stuff is in this mixtape. It's nothing more than just death and destruction from the War on Terror, but just like the other mixtapes, this one isn't available either. The only thing that is available is the cover, which shows a burning crucifixion with others standing around the fire watching someone burn alive. Aside from this cover though, nothing else remains of this mixtape. I have no idea how this is even possible for all of these creations to never be available or not by those who originally made them. Well, I say all this only for none of this to apply to one real creation under the Snuff R73 brand that is 100% original and the real deal. Necrophiliac. I have previously done a video on this titled "I Was Wrong About Snuff R73." This video discusses how there was another version of the Snuff R73 mixtape involving children, just not sexually like previously assumed. This mixtape focuses on the saddening and tragic deaths of young lives lost during the War on Terror. This mixtape is 10 minutes and 55 seconds long of disturbing war footage involving young boys and girls. This all culminates with the end of the mixtape using a clip of a man brutally assaulting a toddler on the streets of China. The cover for this mixtape says it all by displaying a heavily distorted black and white picture of the girl named JonBenet Ramsey. She is one of the most famous cold cases of all time, with her being a 6-year-old girl that was found dead in her parents' home on Christmas night. This cover really sets the tone for what to expect, an unflinchingly real display of young ones in distress and danger. I understand that this is very disturbing to discuss, so I am very, very sorry to anyone hearing this and being physically sickened or emotionally hurt by just thinking about these ideas. I know these topics are incredibly hard to stomach, but I am here to educate and hopefully scratch that morbidly curious itch before you stumble across something you'd rather not see. And with that said, one question remains. Who made all of these? To recap everything so there's no confusion, there are 4 entries to talk about: Snuff R73, Vorsk Snuff R73, Snuff R73-2, and Snuff R73 Necro. The version of the original Snuff R73 we have was a recreation produced by Thomas Cinemagore, the creator of the MD Pope series. Vorsk Snuff R73 was the supposed illegal version containing cheese pizza and D&D, though this version has no evidence to suggest its existence. Snuff R73-2 is lost and focused on deaths from the War on Terror. Any knowledge we have about this comes from Thomas Cinemagore as well. Snuff R73 Neclo is the nearly 11-minute short focused on children and is the only original creation from the Snuff R73 brand to be out there in circulation. Now, with all that out of the way, who made Snuff R73 1 and 2, the ones Thomas saw, and who made the Necro version we see as well? Well, According to my sources, Snuff R73 is not the name of the mixtapes themselves, but rather the name of the group who made them. That's why these have sequels and different names diverging off of the original's name. Imagine it like the debut album for a new artist. A lot of the time, it's a self-titled album named after the artist without an original name. This is what it was for Snuff R73 and the creations that followed. That's why the creations are named Snuff R73, Snuff R73-2, and Snuff R73 Necro. Think of Led Zeppelin, where their first 4 albums are Led Zeppelin 1 through 4 before changing the name. Their creation should be seen as self-titled 1 and 2 and self-titled Necro. This being said, there isn't really much more known about it, as the Vorsk mixtape was a lie created by some French guy on a website forum stating that he saw the illegal version when all this person did was watch CP and said it was Snuff R73. The original group hangs in the balance, with the only rumor that they have all been arrested for various crimes committed on the internet. The validity to these claims are questionable at best, so take this information with a grain of salt. And just like that, this is where the information pool ends. Well, Snuff R73's legacy has been destroyed because of all of the false information that has been spread around about the series. It also doesn't help that we have little credible information to build ourselves off of. The supposed group of Snuff R73 is not really one to look at, as they haven't carved their path for themselves as they may have expected them to. The title of Snuff R73 is very famous, but they are nothing like some of the other people or groups out there that are making mixtapes that are violent, disgusting, or straight up illegal. They are no Thomas Cinnamagore, Ripper, or The Collective. They are nothing, as they barely exist to begin with, and without Thomas Cinnamagore, we'd have even less to go off of. I guess we will have to wait until time slowly reveals any more truths out of this mess, or if it is destined to remain in the buried past. In the wake of these mixtapes, though, have come those inspired by them, such as 2 others I have mentioned earlier, such as Ripper and The Collective. Ripper has made some of the most illegal mixtapes, and The Collective is a group responsible for making some of the most vile, clear web mixtapes of all time, if not the absolute worst. Maybe I'll save those guys for a potential beneath the iceberg tier. I guess we'll have to see. Well guys, thank you for watching. I'm hoping this is the most up-to-date information on this topic by the time I get this video out, and I hope that all of you enjoyed listening, or at least found it interesting. Thank you for all the support, and I hope you all have a great day, evening, night, whenever the fuck time you guys are watching this, and I will see you all next time.